Hi, and welcome to this short 10-minute presentation on Maven Social and how it really can support e-commerce acquisition and transactions using social media and influencers. And today we're going to highlight one of the case studies, and one of the clients we're working with is SingleJo Coffee, and the results we had from them in terms of activating their own media, their emails, and their brand champions. One of the things that Maven does very well, and one of the cornerstones of what we do, is measuring the ROI of paid, owned, and earned media. Now, paid media is media that is obviously paid for. That could be a Facebook ad, that could be a Google ad. Owned is assets that the customer owns or the client would own, such as their email, their Facebook likes, and so on. And earned simply refers to the free traffic from web referrals or social media posts, from sharing and all those other elements that are essentially free. And what we do is track all that right to the transaction. So we want to be able to understand what's happening at the cart level. Which of those channels is most effective? Is it the influencer? Is it the social media site? Is it the email that they have? And be able to track which channel provides the best vehicle for transactions. And we have that under what we call the Maven Insights module. Under Maven Insights, we also go a little deeper. As you know, with Google offers very good insights on what the visitor does. The Google Analytics platform, what we're doing is providing detail on not just the visit, but the actual interaction and relationships that people have when they refer, and a referral model. And you can see here on this particular slide, you can see one of the ladies there is sharing with another person who is really the true influencer. And we basically have identified who those influencers are. We have a patent pending on the economic impact and the transactions that come from that network of influencers that have actually activated or given us their email as part of a particular campaign that we would run for a customer. In this case, this is an example of one of the campaigns we were doing for e-commerce. Then we're able to take that person and rank them or score them, but not just any score based on what we deem as their potential power, but what we want to do is show how well their audience has reacted, how engaged they are with their audience, how many deals they brought in, how many sales they brought in, how many people have they opted into, and how qualified they are in that audience. So some people might have 100,000 followers, but only 3 people activate out of that group. Other people might have 1,000 followers, or they're experts in a particular area, and out of that 1,000, 30 people might activate. We want to reward those at a higher level because they're experts in that field, and we're able to measure that. How do we actually do this? Well, we activate by creating an engagement for somebody to give us their email. For a visitor is one thing, but when we say activate, we mean the person has given us details and opted in, and they've signed up for a form or engaged in some way where we capture the email. And so number 2, we qualify that person, which segments them into categories, interest levels, and so on. And finally, we activate them socially as well. So we want them to like the Facebook page, etc. Through that process, we encourage them to share once they've activated. And what sharing does is it gives us insight into their network. So the average person in North America has a network of 600 people or more. And this person who has knowledge and expertise in this particular area is sharing into that network and giving us what we call amplification. Generally, this is incentivized. People will share into their network provided they're given some value for that, and we activate that prospect's network. Finally, once we do that, we're able to take them to the e-commerce page. Maybe they got a reward such as $5 for doing that. They're able to take that $5 value and apply that to purchases on the e-commerce page. And then what we do is take all the value that's generated from the sharing, it converts to dollars, and then we map the dollars back to the people and are able to do a true analysis of the economic impact. The Maven Influencer solution really comprises of a number of things, and we've mapped them out here. Number one, we want to identify who those influencers are that are making truly transacting from influencer to order. Number two, we want to engage with that person in a meaningful way, and we want to activate them and their network and amplify the overall results. We want to measure who does the best job, and then finally we want to monetize this and understand the ROI based on that. So taking us to the next slide, what we want to do is share with you an experience we've had recently with a company called SingleJo Coffee. And this is an influencer e-commerce case study that really highlights the influencer to order, social media to order, earned media to order, and understand what worked the best and how did we achieve the results we did. So what we're doing first is we have identified two influencers, one being Shannon and the other one Stacy. And in this case, we know that Shannon brought in $375 to date and generated 233 prospects for future sales, and Stacy brought in $143 and 913 prospects for future sales. We're then able to have an overview or aggregate view of all the results over the last period of 6 months. And what you see here is we see a total number of 116,000 visits. We see a total number of opt-ins is 26,000, and 6,962 of those contacts shared, generating a total of 44,914 visits, which is a very significant number of people that are accessing this information through sharing. So just highlighting those again, this big number, 116,000, and we're capturing 25,000 plus names and 7,000 shared. The next slide highlights the sales. So we're able to see the visitors that come, the contacts that come. We're also able to see the sales that come from those specific influencers. And what we're capturing here is the total sales, and then we're also capturing the top influencer, which is Shannon. We're getting her web network and view of that, and the number of not only sales but emails that we're able to achieve, prospects that we are achieving, and the relationships of those prospects in this next slide. The next slide highlights the value of social media. So for the sales from social was $9,000, and or 60% of the overall results from this particular campaign. What we see on the next slide is the actual sales. So the sales accumulated to, over the period of 1 year, you can see the time frame at the top, of $15,107. So we understand where the sales come, the total order quantity, etc. And we can also see the conversion rate. So what we see is a really reasonable conversion rate from visitor to sale of about 1%. On the final slide, the total sales in this first year period is quite reasonable at $35,000 for a brand new startup. But net new sales that came from the Maven engagement accounted for $15,000. And out of those, the 47% of all the sales came from Maven Social, and over 26,000 prospects that are in their pipeline for future sales is available on a budget, a mere budget of $1,000 a month. That gives a quick overview, and again, thank you for listening. My name is Tim Mischuk, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions. Thank you.